Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is called Tales from the Dryer. Um, my name is Denitra, and I am a licensed cosmetologist and have been now for about 21 years. And I just wanted to share with you some of the stories of clients that I've had over these 21 years. And what I'm most proud about being a cosmetologist is that I've literally had some of the same clients now 15 years plus, like continuously. And of course, I've had some that come through my chair and then they go on to other places, but having a bulk clientele for that long period of time has gotten me to the point of being able to grow up with these people. I moved back to my hometown after college and started my career. So I've probably been doing it consistently as a full-time job for 19 of those 21 years. And it's been amazing. So how I first initially started, I worked for a company called Hair Cuttery. And I went to school in a city called Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That's where I went to college. And Winston-Salem, High Point, Greensboro, called the Triad. And I did not know about a hair cuttery because they didn't have any hair cutteries in that area. So when I moved back to my hometown, one of my aunts said, well, you should try this company called Hair Cuttery, because I didn't have a clientele, so I had to build a clientele. There was no point in going into a salon paying booth rent or anything like that. So I went and I filled out the application, and before I could get home, and I literally lived like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes from it, but before I could get back home, the manager had already called me back. What I didn't know at the time was that they were short staffed. So she was like, anybody that come in here. But it ended up being a great experience to get in there. So she called me back. Can you come back and do a haircut so I can see your skills, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, all that worked out. Started working for Hair Cuttery and realized that this was probably the best move for me. Although I had gone to beauty school and passed with flying colors, I think I got like a 100 on practical, on theory, and like a 95 on practical. There was a lot of stuff I still didn't know about doing hair. And so to work for Hair Cuttery ended up being super great because they had built-in education within the company. So you could go to classes and you could literally learn cutting and all the technical stuff that you don't necessarily learn in beauty school. You could learn that at these hands-on classes, which is great. And so I did that. Excuse me, me and my nose, my goodness. I learned, went to classes there and perfected techniques, and it was great. Working for them, there became an opening to be an educator. So I was like, well, shoot, if everybody else doing this, I can do this too. These were just hairstylists who learned facilitation skills and went in and started sharing techniques and stuff with other stylists. That's what I did, which was phenomenal at the time. I'm in my early 20s, and what we had in our particular region of area was from Raleigh, North Carolina, all the way down to Charleston, South Carolina. All your major cities in between, minus the Piedmont Triad area. And so I would go up to Raleigh, teach a class, go down to Charleston, teach a class. It might be one class a week, 2 classes a week. But what ended up happening was that they needed educators in the area. So I would teach here and they go teach there in the latter part of the week when the salon was busy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's when I worked behind the chair. Phenomenal. I looked at it as an experience to, number one, be able to share with other people, because it was a fun environment. At least my classes were, and that's what people would always say. Oh, we had such a good time, because I just like to have fun, and we would be sharing. I wouldn't be teaching you. I would just be sharing information. They'd turn around and be sharing information with me. And so it became absolutely wonderful. It was great. So fast forward, I worked for Hair Cuttery for 6 years, and then I made the decision to leave Hair Cuttery because they were changing their education department, and it wasn't going to be the way that it had been. So literally, I made the decision, and then they sold all the hair cutteries in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So everybody's like, how did you know that was going to happen? I had no idea. I just happened to make that decision. So I went to a private salon and I worked into the salon. Working for Hair Cuttery, it was a multicultural salon. So I did everybody's hair. Anybody that walked through the door with green money got their hair done. That's how it was. And so I went to work in a private salon with all white women. It never dawned on me that I was the only black stylist in there. I don't know. I mean, of course I knew I was the only black stylist in there, but, wasn't that big of a deal. It was right across the street from the Hair Cuttery. When I went to beauty school, we did this project. One of the big things was location. Location. You can have an absolutely awesome salon. If people can't get to it, or if it takes them, they got to go way out their way to get to it, it's going to be difficult. If your clients are used to going one place and now you're going to move 30 miles across town, some are going to come, but you're going to lose some too. It was literally right across the street. I lost not one client. And so at some point, I'm going to tell some stories about working with all white women too. We had some people get very comfortable in how they talk, and not necessarily the stylist that I work with, but the stylist clients. And so you hear stuff, some racial stuff. Some stuff was just funny. Some stuff was very serious, and it was offensive. And I've never been a confronter. Well, let me take that back. I can't necessarily say I haven't been a confronter of people, being very confrontational. I don't want no smoke, but I ain't running from no smoke either. I guess that's pretty much what, that's how I would describe it. I ain't running from no smoke. So when I would hear stuff, I'd make my appearance. Because number one, you need to know I'm back here. Because after I had worked there for so long, I became pregnant and had a son. So my purpose I worked in the back of the salon. It had a door, and my plan was to pump for breast milk. And so that's why I moved in that back area. So I would come out in the open area where everybody else was, and it was like, oh, it's this black girl. You should see their face. They would shut down. Anyway, we'll talk about that kind of stuff later. So fast forward again, I was there for 11 years. Then I decided it's time for a change. And so I moved to a private suite, which I absolutely love. So this is where I am now. Been here now 4 years. And if I ever leave to go somewhere else, it'll be retiring from being a hairstylist. My plan is now, I'm 45. I know I don't look it. Good genes, child, good genes. Anyway, my plan is to be retired by 55. I got 10 more years of doing something. And not necessarily, if I won the lottery though, I would do hair until I couldn't walk anymore. I absolutely love hair. I think it's more of the transformation of hair. I don't even go shopping if my hair's not done, because the clothes don't fit. They don't look like they just don't work. It's funny because you can try something on in the store and be like, this look a mess if my hair not right. But if I take it home and then my hair's right, and then I try the clothes on, be like, oh yeah, this is cute. It's the same clothes, but something about the whole package. And hair is a big thing for people. Granted, there are women now that are rocking bald heads, no hair at all, but they doing it. So it's not all about just hair. However, for me, the transformation of seeing somebody whose hair looks bad to them leaving, and their whole attitude has changed when they leave that chair. Something about that just gives me so much energy. I love that. So Um, like I said, I've been here now 4 years, and I just want to talk a little bit about, some of the stories that I've heard over the years and how they have transformed me as a person. I think that because I've had consistent clients, they've been able to help me as well as I've been able to help them. A lot of my clients will come in. It's amazing. Even the last month, I've had maybe 4 new clients. I don't get new clients often. Number one, the salon, the schedule is packed. But I don't work off of social media, and I know that is crazy to hear, but it's still a lot of stylists that work by referral, and that's how I work. I don't even have a book online, which is fine. What I'm saying to people is that it can be done, and you can still maintain really good, style clients, and be able to do all that you need to do without necessarily being on social media all the time. That's what I do. Once again, though, I've been in this business for 20 years, so it's very different. One of the guys that just started working here has been in the business now 3 years, and he's like, "You're not working this week? It's Saturday. You're not working?" I might do one client, but I've been working 20 years every weekend. I put in some time. So if I decide I don't want to work on Saturday, I just don't work on Saturday. And I missed a lot of family functions and stuff working on Saturday. But it is what it is. That's when my money was coming in. But like I said, now my clients are like, whenever you hear, this when we coming in. So you can pick and choose. But it's been a lot. So that's the introductory video to who I am and what I've been able to accomplish in these past 20 years. And we're going to get started telling these stories, and it's going to be pretty much amazing. I also want to say that I have been thinking about this now really, really hard for the past 2 months. And I've been telling my clients when I hear them tell stories, I'm gonna write a book. And the book is going to be called Tales from the Dryer, which is where I got the name. But then I was like, well, don't write a book. Just tell the stories, because I think I'm a pretty good storyteller too. And I'll be real silly, and I think it's going to be entertaining. But one of my friends passed away literally just this past Friday. And he and I would talk, and he was telling me about this project that he had. He has talked about this project for years. He was going to do it. And if I'm not mistaken, it was going to be a stage play, which could have turned into a movie. And we sat one day, and I was like, how long is it going to take you to sit down and write this thing? Just get it going. He was like, 2 months. That's 2 months of your life. And then it's going to completely change who you are and change, the trajectory of your life. Do it. And he never got the opportunity to do it. So the procrastination of Denitra is over, and we going to get busy. So welcome to Tales from the Dryer. Our next episode is going to be pretty funky. So come back, share it. Y'all know all this YouTube stuff. Y'all young folks, y'all got it. Shares and likes and all that stuff. Let's just go ahead and make it happen. And we can become a family, a dryer family. Bye.